which is one thing that I like about it. About every 20 minutes, you got like a minute-long cutscene. Alright, so now we're gonna start catching ghosts. If you've ever played this game casually, you may notice that my vacuum's going a little bit faster than it would be on like the normal mansion. So what we play on is the hidden mansion, which is basically the new game plus of the game. You unlock this mode after you beat the game once. Alright, so I'm gonna line myself up here so I can manipulate these guys to get a double. We actually missed that double. It's not too costly. Did the race fall through? Yeah. We don't know where the other guy is. Alright, these ghosts are actually the only ones that you can push without taking damage. And that is a poisonous mushroom. If that actually hits you, Luigi turns completely mini. And you can't do anything for about 10 seconds. So yeah, it's basically a 10-second penalty. So you definitely want to try to avoid those. Alright, so now we're coming up on our portrait ghost. What we were fighting before were just our normal basic ghosts. But there's only one of each portrait ghost. And each portrait ghost has their own unique characteristics, which is one thing I like about this game. Nintendo gave this game such a big personality. And there's unique ways to capture each of them. For that guy, you just turn your back to him, and he will expose his heart. For this one, we pull back the curtain, and she will show her heart. Now what these portrait ghosts are dropping are pearls. They count towards the endgame currency, so they will count towards our 100 million in money by the end of the game. Alright, now we're coming up to the end of Area 1. At the end of each area, there's an area boss. There are 4 areas in this game, so 4 area bosses. And one unique thing about each area bosses is they have their own custom arenas. For Chauncey here, he just shrinks us down and puts us inside of his crib. A lot of people actually didn't know that this was his crib, but yes, it is his crib.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Sorry about that. I forgot all about this shit.
So what, do we start over?
Wait, you already started?
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for a reset. If it's alright with the host. So this is the other runner. It's in the call right now.
Yeah,
He just
I
showed
woke
up.
up late. Sorry.
So I don't know, do we start over? Do we have the time?
If you don't have the time, you can just keep going. It's my fault for waking up late.
Why reset? Because the other runner's here, and this was initially supposed to be a race. Alright, so anyways, that concludes Area 1.
You already done with Area 1?
Now we have this. Yeah.
They said on the page you weren't gonna start for another like 10 minutes.
We were way ahead of schedule. So anyway, now we're going to be moving on to Area 2.
Let me go ahead and get out of the call. I'll just let you continue. It's whatever, man. Have fun.
Alright,
It
sounds
was my
good.
fault in the beginning not being there.
Alright, so anyways, one thing I forgot to mention was when we go through a double door, it's imperative that we go through the left door because Luigi will push it open rather than pull it open like he does the right door. And that actually saves a second. A lot of people didn't know that, but it does. This is a new type of ghost, grabber ghost. You shake them off in the opposite direction, we can get a quick double there. Alright, so we're coming up to the first bit of RNG in this game. Luckily it's early on, so it's not too costly to reset. But in the case of a marathon, we can't. It's only about a 10-second penalty, so it's not bad. So first we're just going to capture these shy guys. And then these dancers will appear, the floating Relendas. And they can show their hearts 10 seconds early, just out of pure luck. It's up to them whether they do or not. There's nothing that can influence it. So we'll see if we get the early release coming up in a second. And we did not get it. Alright. So that's about a 10-second penalty. Nothing too major. It's like a 50-50 chance that they can show their heart. We just got the bad end of the stick. Alright, we actually haven't seen these ghosts yet. Speedy spirits. They hide in pieces of furniture and you can capture them and they drop money. I may get hit here. I don't know how I dodged that. But what I just sucked up through the wall was a poster. There's a poster on the other side of this wall, and for some reason your vacuum can just go through the wall, since I guess it has to move anyways, and you can suck the poster off. And that saves about 3 seconds. See, normally there'd be a poster on that button. Alright, so we've just released all 50 boos throughout the mansion. And then since this is 100%, we do have to capture all of them. But but we can get it done in under an hour. So the boos like to hide in pieces of furniture, and wherever they hide is RNG. So luckily, through lots of optimization and manipulation, I've managed to go through all the spots as quickly as I can to make it as fast as possible to find these boos. So let's see. We're just going to do a little bit of backtracking so we can get 5 boos, because we need 5 to proceed to the next part of the game. And that little stun lock that I just did there to keep that boo in place is called R pumping. You hold down your L trigger and tap your R trigger every 10 HP for an optimal suck up, and they'll stay in place for 15 cackles. After 15 cackles, they will become unstun locked, and then they'll leave the room. Shoutouts to Coopery for finding that, a former tasser of this game. Also, one thing I didn't mention is we're playing on the Japanese version in this game. The Japanese version in this category is faster by about 35 seconds. Sounds like that boo just moved. So yeah, whenever a boo cackles when you haven't found him, that means he switched locations. I want to say he's in the painting. Nope, nothing. I just got a feeling. I was wrong. Alright, so now Egad's telling us to go to the washroom and wash up. So that's why we needed 5 boos, because normally the washroom is locked, but after we capture the 5th boo, the washroom unlocks, and we're able to proceed on. Alright. So there are different types of grabber ghosts in this game. There are these that hide through the wall, and you can only see them through the mirror. There are the normal ones that when they touch you, they deal damage. Or there are the ones that we saw at the very beginning of Area 2, the ones that will grab you and not deal damage. Alright, so this is our first element of the game. This is fire. There will be 2 more elements that we get later. But what I just did there was a fire save warp. If you save warp on the boo, as you're grabbing the fire medallion, you get to skip all the information that Egad tells you about the element. So that saves about 6 seconds. Will we find Mario this run? I don't know, man. I think Luigi would be better off without him. He'd get all the fame and glory. Alright, so that's an RNG golden mouse. We suck that up and it gives us money. that mouse only has about a 1 in 5 chance of spawning, so that's just some extra RNG money. Alright, and this is Mario's hat. We have to find 5 of Mario's personal belongings throughout the run. And we're gonna take him to the fortune teller at the end of Area 3. Alright, what I just did there was a chest cutscene skip. We get to skip the animation of the chest spawning. Alright, sounds like the boo moved. Alright, and what I just did there is a JP exclusive trick. That's called a tech skip. We go through the mouse hole as we're catching the boo, and we get to skip the information that EGAD tells us. And that quad that I just did there is very precise. We'll be doing one similar to that in Area 4, but with 6 Shy Guy Ghosts. So now we can do the same tech skip, go through the mouse hole. Rip Laundry Boot tech skip. Also, if you pull a cloth off of, say, a bed or that cloth there in the laundry room, as you're catching the boo, it actually overrides the boot information, so you just get to skip that entirely. That's what I was going for there, but missed. So for this room, we just need to activate all the instruments. And now Melody will appear. She can play one of 2 songs here. She can play the underwater theme from Super Mario Brothers, or she can play the theme from Super Mario Brothers 3, which is what she's playing now. And this will always be the 3rd option, so we know what to select. Oh, those are really good music sheets. She'll show her heart after you capture her music sheets, and that was like really optimal. Alright, so now we're coming up to our first optional portrait ghost, but since this is 100%, we do have to capture him. This is Mr. Lugs, the glutton. So we just need to suck up his food, he'll get angry. And he'll start spitting fireballs, but while he's doing that, we can go do other things. Wait for his cycle to end. So in the meantime, we're going to be getting the 2nd element. Which is the water element. Alright, so he's done spitting fireballs, and he'll show his heart, because he's tired. Now we're gonna come back and get this boo later. Whoa, did the boo move? Did I read that wrong? Okay, he did move. Alright. So it's very imperative that we water this plant now. We need to come back after each area and water it, because it will give us a very valuable gem at the end of the game. And that's crucial towards the 100% run. That gem is worth 20 million. There's only one of 2 of those gems in the game. The other one we get from capturing all 50 boos. So we're gonna come back for it. Get a skeleton double there. Now we're coming up to the end of area 2. So this is Bogmire, the area 2 boss. Unlike Chauncey, we can get this guy in one cycle. Chauncey and the final boss are the only 2 that we cannot one cycle in the game. It's like for some reason the programmers just programmed them that way. Because each area boss is on a timer, and for some reason Chauncey's timer is different from Bogmire's. It's a lot shorter. Maybe one day one cycle Chauncey will be possible, but Tass has gotten him down to 2 HP. And we haven't been able to do anything better than that. So here's hope for one day. So again, we have downtime here. Alright, so our money count's looking pretty good right now. And after each area you complete, that hallway lights up. And normally we would go back and water the plant now. But there's been a slight route change, so we do it at the end of area 3. So we're gonna go back for that later. Alright, now we learn about Mario's whereabouts. So King Boo captured him and put him inside of a painting. And we have to get all of his belongings, including his hat, which he is wearing inside of his painting. I don't know how that makes sense. We found his hat in the washer, and he's wearing it inside the painting. Doesn't make much sense. Are gold frames on bosses required for 100%? No, but they are required for max percent. Which in max percent you have to get every bit of money in the game. You have to rescue every toad. If you miss a coin or a bill or a bar, you have to reset. But for this, we just need the basic 100 million. Alright, we just hit this guy 3 times with a punching bag. This guy is actually rather tough. I'm shocked I managed to keep control there. And with optional portrait ghosts, they just give you money. That guy was also optional. No, we do not get all of the collectibles. Yeah. 142.39 is max. Alright, and this is the third and final element, ice. Something unique about the ice element is it actually can freeze boos in place for a short period of time. So if you need to do, like, open a chest or something, the boo will stay in place while you do that. Alright, so we need to hit this granny with 3 yarn balls. Now she'll show her heart. Ooh, Boo just switched into there. That's good. Alright, I need to actually get this pearl. Taking great advantage of the ice element here. And that Boo actually just got away at 1 HP. Zero. Wow, that's a slap in the face. Hopefully he does not go left. He went left. Alright, That guy should go right. So I'll just go get him in a second. Just gonna leave those pearls behind. So now wherever he goes, it doesn't really matter. Because we already have it lit up. Well, I don't know. By our logic, to 100% the game, you just need to get the best possible rank in all boos, along with the portrait ghosts. Because, like, no one's obviously Like, hardly anyone has ever run max percent. There's about 5 runs on the board. It's going for a triple, but we got 2 out of 3. No. Just leave it the same, because that's what it is on the leaderboards. Then that would really confuse people, because this is what everyone knows 100% as. Everyone who's watched the game, everyone who's played it, this is what they know 100% as. Alright, so this is Mario's 3rd item, his star. There's 2 more items that we need to get. I mean, that's just the rules that we've decided on. To 100% the game, you just need the best possible rank, along with the portrait ghosts and the booze. Well, by definition, that's what we've labeled it as. I didn't make the rules. Alright, 1 cycle. I mean, if it's really that bothersome, you can go talk to the community. Alright. So we're about to get the last Mario item. Jeez, sorry I submitted. Alright, come on. So now we're just doing some more backtracking, going back to get these boos. Since we had to come get the twins anyways, it's convenient that we get all the boos in this hallway. Alright, so now that we have all 5 of Mario's items, we're going to be taking them to the fortune teller here. And this is about a minute 30 of just straight button mashing, carpal tunnel galore. Yeah, real sorry I submitted this game, by the way. That boo may get away. Yeah, he did. Alright. Alright, so now we're gonna go back and water this plant. This is the route change. Normally we would have done it at the beginning of Area 3, but we're doing it at the end. And even then, there is one coin out of bounds that is unobtainable. Along with the pearl dupes. Yep, all eyes. Yeah, so the reason that I have my flashlight pointed up at the ceiling is because if you have your flashlight pointed on a ghost spawn point, then they can't spawn, and that prevents the ceiling surprises from spawning. And if Luigi gets scared, then he'll do the scare animation, which wastes a couple seconds. Just the spinning. Yeah, there's really no reason for it. Alright, so we're gonna... This is the Area 3 boss, Boolossus. Gonna try to get him in one cycle here. This will be interesting. Ooh, barely clutched it out. Yeah, man, this game is hella spooky. Gives me nightmares every time I run it. Alright, so Area 3 is done. we're going to do the final area now. Alright, so we're gonna go water the plant for the final time. And we'll get our cash prize. Yeah, I agree. This game was really short. I feel like they could have done so much more. There were quite a few portrait ghosts that they cut from the final game that I feel like could have been added. Alright, so that gold diamond that we just got there is worth 20 million. One of those is a fifth of the game's completion, which is 100 million. So the second one is also worth 20 million. So that's 40 million right there. Almost half of the game's completion comes from those two alone. So we really rely on them in the run. Also, I didn't mention this, but the reason that I'm spraying an element whenever I go from a lit room to a dark room is because it skips the animation of Luigi pulling his flashlight out. And that saves about a second, gives him a boost. That's called flashlight skip. Alright, this is the blackout portion of the game. So we need to go capture a portrait ghost who only comes out in the dark. Then we need to go turn the power back on in the breaker room. Alright, and this guy is similar to the dancers. He can show his heart whenever he wants. But unlike the dancers, he can't show it. He doesn't have to show it after 10 seconds. He can show it between 0 and 35 seconds. Which, that wasn't that bad. That was probably about 8 seconds. Definitely doable for a marathon. And one thing about the blackout mansion is it's an entirely different mansion that it puts you in. Like, the whole mansion is just different. Alright. So now we're gonna turn the power back on. Oh, is he over here? Yes, he is. Dang, he got away. Basically, the layout isn't different of the mansion, but it is a different mansion. Because there are more fake doors in areas where there usually aren't. The toads are gone. This may not be a double. No. I goofed up my movement there. Oh, he's in the worst spot possible. See if this guy went back into breaker room. He did not. He went into pipe room. It's crucial that we check that room, because if that boo went back in there and we don't check, that's about a 20-second loss. So if you're on PB pace, that would really kill your run.
Mario. Mario. Mario.
Alright, so this is probably the worst part of the game, the Area 4 attic. All the boos in this attic are insanely difficult to capture. So I'm hoping we can get 2 cycles on them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mario.
Alright, so this boss fight here is basically just like the twins, but rather than 2 ghosts, there's 3. And the purple ghost is the one that has the pearls. So we're gonna try to capture him last. I'm gonna try to get a pearl dude by the end of the run. Oh god, stopping this basically mean. Alright, and that's the 6-piece on the Shy Guys that I mentioned at the beginning of the run.
Oh yeah.
Alright, good RNG. So we're gonna try to manipulate this guy down into telephone room so we can get a quick 2 cycle on him. Looks like he's gonna go left though. Yeah, he went left. Oh, he did not. It looked like he was gonna go left and it took him forever to leave. Alright, good 2 cycle.
Mario.
Now, I really like the movement in this room. Except when that happens. But yeah, you're just moving at a quick rate, trying to capture these ghosts. You shake the suits of armor and they spawn. And here we're gonna try to get a triple.
Oh yeah.
Very nice. So besides that one mistake, this is pretty good. So since that Boo had 150 HP, our inputs needed to be perfect in order to one-cycle him. Because like I said earlier, after 15 cackles, the Boo will become unstun-locked and leave the room. So this is the 4th optional Portrait Ghost. 4th out of 5th.
Oh yeah.
Alright, nice. So there we just had to hit him 7 times with the ice, like a little mini-game. And he will become triggered, and now we can suck him up. There's the dupe, alright. So what we just did there was we duplicated a large pearl. So basically how you do that is you walk in to the pearl as you're sucking it up in your vacuum, and for some reason it just duplicates it. Alright, so this guy needs to go right. Good. If he went left, that would have been like a 30-second penalty.
Oh yeah.
He went right, I think. Oh, he didn't. God. That sucks. Again, this is exactly why I hate these boos. They're so unpredictable. Alright, 1 boo left and we're out of here.
Mario.
Alright, the difficult part is over.
Mario!
Alright, the save. I just winged that. Alright, so we're gonna go finish up the basement now. And then we're gonna head back upstairs to get Soupy and Vangor. And then it's to the final boss. Alright, so that's the only 300 HP boo in the game that you can one cycle, and you got it. Requires precise manipulation so you can manipulate him back and forth. It's actually not an easy thing to do. Alright, so this guy is very difficult to one cycle due to the ice on the ground. But we got it. I'm gonna try to go for another pearl dupe. Rip. That's fine. That one I got should guarantee us the money. Oh, don't go that way. Nice. My input has been eaten. It's alright though. We were gonna save and quit anyways, so this is fine. Alright, so now we're just gonna go wrap things up in the attic right after we get Soupy. For some reason, her room is upside down. Alright. So we need to wet her bed 3 times with this water. And then she'll show her heart. The only real threat in this room are those clown dolls. So you really gotta avoid those. Alright, we got it.
Mario!
Alright, I'm gonna try to get a double here. I probably walked out too early. That's fine, I'm gonna try to do it from 70. He's normally not supposed to go in that room after you leave. Oh, so close. Gotta wait 6. That'd have been pretty cool to pull off in this marathon. Looks cool and flashy.
Mario! Mario!
Alright, so it looks like we're gonna be finishing up with like an early 114 here. Mid-early 114. Which that's alright for a marathon. I can't complain. Alright, so after we suck up all of Van Gore's paintings, he becomes triggered as well. And he'll show his heart. So we got all 1 cycles on every ghost. So that's pretty good. We did not miss a large pearl, and we also duped 1. Oof, the double cackles. I would have had that. Alright. So this is the last gem
Mario!
that we need to collect. Well, actually, I may get the altar gem, just for safety. But, yeah, that's the second gold diamond. We get that after we catch the 50th goo. I cannot aim. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the final boss.
Mario.
And then, that's it.
Mario.
But we will need to see the money count just to verify that this is 100%. If we don't have 100 million or more, then it doesn't count.
Mario. Mario.
Alright. So we're gonna try to go for the optimal 2 cycle here. So on the first cycle, we're gonna try to get him around 250 HP. He starts off with 500 HP. Alright, 241. It's better. So we're set to go for the 2 cycle here. And we're also coming up on time. Right as soon as I suck him up. And time. 1:14:21.
Yeah, pretty good.
GG. Now we have to verify that it's 100 million. So if it's 100 million, then the run counts as 100%. But if not, then it counts as just a basic any percent no out of bounds run. So right after this cutscene here, we'll be able to look at the money count. It should be 100%. That dupe should have put me over. Yep, there we go. Didn't even need the last gem, but I got it for reassurance. 100,750,000. Alright. So that counts as 100%. Yeah.
Alright.
That's the run. Thanks for watching, guys.
Awesome. Thank you. So the next run that we have up on deck is Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins.